Hi, I'm Tim Roble, and welcome to another episode of Adventure Athlete. Today we're working on the Expedition truck, which I'm going to go ahead and change this and call it now an adventure truck. Global Expedition Vehicles is building something similar to this, and they went ahead and called it an adventure truck. Being that I'm an adventure athlete, I think it makes more sense to call this the adventure truck. But made some slow progress the last couple of days. I'll call this like physical build day 26, although they haven't been full days. I got the spare in position. You can kind of see that it's going to hang out just a tad bit over the edge of the back of the vehicle. This right here will physically be the end. Got the shape going on. I'm going to be doing more runners down. How I set this one up is, coming from an off-road car builder, you want to always set up, your junctions and your nodes. And you can see where I've done that to line everything up. On the roof, I wanted the 4x8 panel up here. I wanted that to have a cross member every 2 feet, just in case we needed to walk up there. How it's going to work with the sheet metal here is I'm not going to be able to keep this here with the bend and transition. So this is going to have to move forward. I'll lose that node. That's okay. It's just tacked. And then trying to figure out this transition through here is going to be the most difficult. Because we basically flare out from the cab to this fender well point. And then that'll come. And then it starts transitioning a slight taper back. So last couple of days I got... And I'm not putting full days into this because I'm still having to work on client stuff. So it's been a limited effort, I'll say. But I did get my roller fair lead in. And to do that, I had to cut and remove this, which is probably like a brake controller or something. I won't say brake controller, but brake module to run the trailer lights and everything. But, I ended up putting these two cross members in, which is kind of a good thing, because remember, we're moving the spring shackles back to this location, and it provides a nice structural cross member behind that. So we're really got a nice boxed-in section right here for the rear swing of the suspension. And the spare ended up exactly where I wanted it. I got it shimmed with another piece of plywood, so it will be actually hanging by itself up in the air. And I think when I box all of this area in, the tire is going to be physically outside the vehicle, and then the sheet metal and everything will be curved around it. I have a 3-roller, and my plan for that is to roll a nice arc, probably about a 40-inch arc around a 35, so there's some room around the tire to get your hands in there and pull everything off in case you did have a flat. Another thing that I've been working on, showed you this, I think that was last week or the previous week, that I got these runners up here for the cab over, and kind of got some the angles set up, and this will be the top angle down there. All my tubing came in, so we're set and ready to go. But one of the things that I did that I'll say this vehicle just kind of feels like it was made for this is these little divots here were like rain runners, and this tube actually fits and nests right inside of there. So when I get to it, that's going to be stripped away, and then I will spot in several places where that meets up, and then there will be a runner that'll come across the top to the other one, and I'll have to probably do a 3-roll on that to get that to fit perfect, and then weld that in. And what that's going to do is it's going to provide part of the cab is going to end up being of course inside the truck, and then as we transition away from where the roof line is, I'll have to sheet the bottom of it so it looks nice. So I'm trying to find a nice place for that to nest and meet up, and I think I got that whole situation nailed. I'm feeling really optimistic about this project. I think everything that I wanted it to do is turning out. The shape and everything is going to look it's going to look presentable. I think it's going to look a lot nicer than a lot of stuff that's on the market right now. When I move this tube to like a forward position here, and the front of the cab over is going to come through, see if we can kind of figure this line out. And of course we're going to be, you know, a couple 4 inches forward of where this is, but it's going to meet right there. The bottom runner is going to come off of here and then transition out there, and then the top will come up and just be at the 4-foot level. So it'll kind of give it a very unique, interesting shape, and it'll follow a lot of good good body lines, I'll say. So I'm kind of stoked about all of that. There may be a triple transition down to it, but for right now it's just going to be 2. We'll see how it looks in tube, which happens to be a lot of how I fabricate. So some of the questions I've been getting about the truck, you know, people have been asking some questions about, you know, how elaborate is going to be the interior. The interior is going to be very sparse. Once again, there's just going to be a couch futon over there that I already know I'm going to have to modify to make work. I think I am going to make that so it folds up and stows. On this side, we'll have the Snowmaster refrigerator, the copper sink, and then a little cook platform back here. Tire height mounted is about 35 inches, so the counter on this side will probably end up being 35 inches. I have this spare mount kind of set up and ready to start playing with. As you can see, we still have to make a transition cut, and I have to get it mounted. There's another angle that I have to put in this before I start putting that in place. But probably about another hour to go on these spare mounts. Then what I will do is, I'm within, about, I think, 4/10 of a degree. That's not close enough for how I like to build. Talking angle this and angle plate. So once I get everything set up, I'll pull the spares off. I'll take these tack welds off, and then I'll put the protractor actually on this plate and get this plate so it's lined up with, physically with the cab and up and down, so we're at the same angle. Other than that, I think we're making good progress. Today is a hotter day. It looks like we're going to be probably somewhere around 100 degrees. And it ends up working out pretty good because of the tarp up top. Like right now we have sun in the morning that's kind of beating down this way on me. But around the noon, we start getting good shade back here, and it's actually not too bad to work. Getting some salt in the eyes, but other than that, pretty good. I still have this extension on the tube to trim and cap. I won't be able to spend a whole day back here, but we'll see what happens. You know, once again, you still got client work to do, and you got to make money to keep pushing on through the project. I call this project the rule of Tim. If I say I can do it for $2,500 and I can get it done in 1 month, it's probably going to be somewhere around $7,500 worth of a build, and 3 months, just the way things go. You know, you can't plan for everything. I know there's guys that sit down with a piece of paper and they're like, okay, this is what it's going to exactly take. Not usually. That's I've built enough projects that I really know that in the end it's going to be more expensive than you initially thought it was going to be, but well worth it. You know, the value on these types of trucks right now are $250,000 for an adventure or expedition type truck. I can't really, I had a hard time calling this an expedition truck because of the size and really what it's being built for. To me, expedition means you're going to be out full time in it for a full year or 2 or 5 for travel. You're going to hit things like dunes, and you're going to also camp in the snow. This is going to be well insulated, but it's going to be 1 inch. It's going to be a light insulation in it, and I just don't see me camping in sub-zero weather for any amount of time. Although I got a little heater, little buddy heater that I'm going to put in here. I don't see me, I don't really like to be super cold. Actually, a 70 to 80 degree day is perfect, and if I had my way, I would chase that around the United States and ride my motorcycle, mountain bike, trail run, hike, kayak. That's my mindset for what this truck is, and being able to lock everything up. So long-winded again, but I just wanted to get that theory out. I haven't talked about theory in a while. and people talking about, you know, are you going to have a dishwasher in it? This, no. I want it to stay lightweight, bare minimum. Keep the weight down is the trick. You know, I have the long travel shocks on it, a 3-tube bypass, which is probably overkill for this, but everyone I talk to that's in the suspension world says, hey, that's probably one of the best things I've seen somebody do. A great way to be able to control a little bit of the extra weight and be able to tune your ride characteristics. So that's where we're at on this. But yeah, just the minimum. I'm not going to get carried away with a bunch of cabinets across the top and put a bunch of weight in it. I'm looking at like cloth hangers with little wicker drawers that go in it, cloth drawers, because I'm not going to carry a whole lot of things. You know, good first aid kit, good medicine cabinet, water, a NutriBullet's probably my biggest fancy thing that's going to go in it. Other than that, it'll be a solar. We'll take a computer. There is a slight possibility, maybe a 50-60% chance that I'm going to put a DC operated 32-inch flat screen TV on it with a satellite dish on the top that'll actually find the signal. That's a strong possibility. I'll probably go camp first and see if that's something that we have to or want to do. But sometimes when the weather is real crappy, it's nice to be able to sit inside when it's windy or rainy and cold and watch a little TV and pass the time going that way. So that's a strong possibility. That being said, inside, I'm going to do more of like a dark, majestic cave. It'll have ebony stain with some streaks of green and some copper looking streaks going through it. All of the interior metals on it, it's going to be copper, or a copper look. That being said, let's move forward and I'll show you the backsplash that I got on the walls. And the refrigerator has been painted. So I think this is going to look really nice. It's kind of a copper color, and I ordered these off of Amazon, and they're plastic. They weigh nothing, but they add a cool look to it. And we'll go ahead and walk out here, and I'll show you the Snowmaster, which used to be a stainless steel. And I know there's people out there now cringing like, oh my god, you painted over the stainless. Yeah, I painted over the stainless. It's a better look that I wanted. I did this in 3 stages. It's 2 different colors of copper and some black. So there's little black flakes in here just to try to give it a different look, something that's unique. I still have to put the latches and everything back on, but it's the look I want. And for any of you that paint with spray paint, let's say I get a year down the road and I'm like, oh my god, I wish this would have stayed copper or stainless. Not a problem. Get out your little can of lacquer thinner and start in a spot and start rubbing off all the spray paint. And probably something like this would probably take an hour, hour and a half, but you can be back to your natural color, actually nice and shiny like it was before you even started. So not a big deal. I'm one of those guys that's willing to take the risk to change things up, to get the color, get the texture that I want. So I don't have a big problem with that. So today's Friday. I'm going to get to it on the weekend. But I wanted to get this video out for you guys that are following me. I thank you and I appreciate each and every one of your positive comments. You guys have really kept me motivated and on track. I think I'm a little further in the process because of you guys, and I want to get through and show some of my ideas to you. So thank you guys so much. If you like this type of thing, please like and subscribe. And there's a little bell notification deal that'll tell you every time I upload a new video. You click on that and here say that you want to see updates, and it'll update on that. That's going to be it for now. I'm Tim Roble. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you here next time.